All right, Mets fans. The big question right now is, will Pete Alonso be back?
Yeah, that's the big one.
Right. Will he still be in Queens next year, crushing those dingers?
I mean, he was on fire this past season.
Exactly. So today we're going to take a deep dive into his contract situation.
I love a good deep dive.
Yeah, me too. We've got some articles here that really lay out the latest, and honestly, things are getting kind of interesting. We're talking potential backup plans for the Mets, other teams maybe trying to snag him, and of course, spring training is right around the corner. Tick-tock, right?
The clock is definitely ticking.
Big time. So right off the bat, what's interesting is that this isn't just a simple will he, won't he kind of thing.
Yeah.
Both sides, Alonso and the Mets, they're actually talking about a new deal.
Yeah, they are. But, as you might imagine, money is the big sticking point.
Of course, always is.
Always. There's been talk of a 3-year deal, but with an opt-out after the first year, so that's something to think about.
Okay, so a shorter commitment. But it gives Alonso a chance to hit free agency again pretty quickly if he wants. What do you think? Is this a good move for Alonso, or should he just go for that mega deal? Just hold out?
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it?
Totally.
Alonso's basically betting on himself, if he has another monster year.
Like this past year.
Exactly. He's going to be in a prime position to command a massive contract when he hits free agency again.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Now, for the Mets, it's a way to keep a really key player for a few years at least without, totally breaking the bank.
Got to keep those finances in check.
Right. But there's definitely a risk for them, too. If Alonso has a stellar season, they could lose him after just 1 year.
Oof. That's got to be a little stressful for them. And speaking of pressure, the Mets have a deadline to think about, right?
Absolutely. They can't just wait around forever.
Nope.
They want this settled so they can move on to other targets if they need to. And here's where they actually have a bit of leverage. The pool of first basemen out there, it's shrunk a lot.
It's gotten smaller.
Way smaller. Think about it. Paul Goldschmidt, Nathaniel Lowe, Christian Walker, they're all off the market already. Even Gleyber Torres, who could have shifted to first, just signed with the Tigers. So options are dwindling.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah.
But I remember the articles mentioned a couple of other teams that might be in the mix, the Giants and the Angels, right?
Exactly. Those are possibilities for sure. But they both come with their own question marks. San Francisco, in particular, can be a tough place to hit home runs.
Oh, yeah, with that marine layer.
Exactly. All those deep fly balls turning into outs at Oracle Park. Not great for a guy like Alonso who just launches those home runs.
Not ideal at all. So let's play a little what-if game here. What if Alonso actually walks away from the Mets? What do they do then?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. They do have some internal options. You've got Mark Vientos. He's got potential.
Yeah, for sure.
But realistically, he doesn't have that proven power, the consistency that Alonso has at the major league level.
Makes sense.
They could also try Luis Angel Acuna, Brett Beatty, or even Ronnie Mauricio.
So they've got some options at least.
They do. Beatty's an interesting one because he could potentially move over to third base if they need to shuffle things around.
A little infield switcheroo.
Maybe. But, this isn't just about filling a hole for 2023, right?
Yeah.
We got to look at the bigger picture here. There's a certain slugger up north, free agent in 2025.
Oh, yeah. I see where you're going with this. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
The one and only.
He's kind of the elephant in the room with this whole Alonso thing.
He really is. This whole situation could be part of a bigger plan, right? Maybe the Mets are hesitant to offer Alonso a huge long-term contract because they're secretly stashing cash for a run at Guerrero Jr. in a couple of years.
That's a good point. I mean, it makes you wonder.
There have been some whispers about the Blue Jays maybe being open to trading him, but they'd want a lot in return.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A king's ransom.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's bring it back to our listeners for a second. What do you think is going to happen? Is Alonso staying put in Queens with a big, fat contract?
Yeah.
Will he take that shorter deal? Or are we in for some serious drama and he's out? I mean, it's a total nail-biter at this point.
It really is. It's like a high-stakes poker game.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And both sides are holding their cards close. No one's really tipping their hand. It's all about who blinks first. And what does that tell us about the Mets' long-term strategy?
Yeah, what does it tell us? That's the real question.
Exactly. Lots to think about.
Mets fans, stay tuned.
This is going to be interesting.
It really is.
Yeah.